In his book, The 5 Love Languages, Dr. Gary Chapman presents the idea that people give and receive love in different ways. The way you give and receive love differ in a similar way that languages do. Imagine you are on the airport in France. You need some directions. You walk up to a French-speaking person, who by the way does not understand English, and start expressing your need to them in English. Will they understand? Unlikely. How about if you spoke any louder? Chances are that they'll just look at you in confusion, probably become frustrated, and maybe even walk away. If you need directions from a French-speaking person, you will need to speak their language. Dr. Chapman identifies 5 primary ways in which you give and receive love. The 5 love languages are words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving of gifts, spending quality time together, and acts of service. Knowing someone's love language is as important as knowing what kind of fuel goes into your car. If I drive a car that uses unleaded, I might end up damaging the engine if I try to fill it with diesel. Life is much easier to navigate if we feel loved. Feeling loved is to a person what having fuel in the tank is to a car. It enables us to do what we were meant to do. We therefore use the term love tank to measure how loved or unloved a person feels. How full or how empty the tank is an indication of whether or not I feel loved. Words of affirmation. People with the words of affirmation love language feel and receive love through words. They feel loved not only by the words being used, but are also very strong perceivers of the intentions behind the words, such as body language and tone of voice. Communicating appreciation often will keep a words of affirmation person's love tank full and bring out their best. Communicating to a words person requires that I deliver sincere messages of encouragement, affirmation, appreciation, and empathy. Delivering a negative message of criticism is sure to drain the love tank of this person. The way in which I deliver constructive criticism to a words person is by using the Euro sandwich technique. I deliver the message with twice as much affirmation as criticism. I start by telling them how loved they are, then I deliver the thing they need to work on, and then I end off the conversation by affirming how great they are. This method of delivery keeps a words person engaged in the conversation. Anxiety levels are low, and they are able to receive your critique because they feel loved and safe. The actions I take towards expressing love to a words person include sending them unexpected notes, texts, or cards. I can also take action in filling a words person's love tank by genuinely and often encouraging them. If I have a words of affirmation person in my life, I need to avoid giving non-constructive criticism. This is sure to drain their love tank. Not recognizing or appreciating effort from their side will also leave them feeling unloved. In other words, if you want to make this person feel loved, you need to take action on firing at them with positive and affirming words. Physical touch. To the person with the primary love language of physical touch, nothing speaks louder than appropriate physical touch. They need regular, sincere, affectionate touch. The lack of touch, on the other hand, can very quickly start leading towards high levels of anxiety in the relationship. A touch person has a built-in touch meter, which counts down the minutes since they were last touched. The longer they go without affectionate touch, the higher their anxiety levels become and the emptier their love tanks. Communicating to a touch person does not require words. A sincere smile with the hand on the shoulder or touching their hand can go a long way. Use body language and touch to emphasize love. Actions you can take to fill a touch person's love tank include hugging, kissing, and holding hands. Sometimes simply sitting together on a couch with parts of your body touching is enough to make them feel loved. If you are not someone who is comfortable with touch, you will need to push through the discomfort if you want to communicate your love towards your partner. Showing physical affection needs to happen regularly, and intimacy should be made a thoughtful priority. For a touch person, forgetting to make touch a priority is like communicating that you don't love me anymore. Avoid physical neglect. Letting a long time go by without sharing intimacy and touch is a big no-no to this person. You do not want to receive affection from a touch person coldly. Saying things like, "Don't touch me, I'm warm," can be very hurtful for touch people. This basically translates into, "I don't want to receive your love right now." Next up, we have gifts. People with the gifts love language feel loved when they receive a gift. Gifts do not need to be pricey, but they serve as tokens of appreciation. A gift says, "I have been paying attention to you, and this gift demonstrates that I get you." It's not the price tag that matters, but the attention to detail of the person's life. Equally important to the gifts are the capturing of moments. Making moments special will fill a gifts person's love tank. Sealing that moment with a gift will be the icing on the cake. Communicating love to a gifts person requires that you be thoughtful. It is not enough to simply send them a gift. They are not materialistic beings. It is the thought behind the gift that fills their love tank. Making your spouse a priority sends the message that I love you and you are my number one. It meets the need of a gifts person to be noticed and appreciated. Intentions are key here, so speaking purposefully is important. This implies that you do not merely say things, but the intentions behind your words serve as fuel to fill or deplete a gifts person's love tank. Here are some actions you can take if you have a gifts person in your life. Give thoughtfully with and without special occasions. Nothing says "I love you" to the gifts person like receiving something without a special occasion. Small things matter, and they matter in a big way. You will probably receive many small gifts from a gifts person, and expressing gratitude is an important part of communicating the love. If receiving gifts without special occasions are important to the gifts person, then nothing says "I don't care" more clearly than forgetting a special occasion. Avoid this at all cost. Quality time. In order to feel loved, a person with the quality time love language needs to have highly engaged and undivided attention. It is important that you switch off all other distractions. It is not about the quantity of time spent together, but the quality. For some people, nothing says "I love you" like your full undivided attention. Communicating love to a quality time person requires that you are able to give them your uninterrupted and focused attention. 10 minutes of undivided attention for a quality time person is worth more than 3 hours of housework or giving them a special gift. One-on-one time is critical. A quality time person will feel the lack of love if you do not make special effort to engage in this one-on-one conversation on a daily basis. During this time, switching off devices such as your cell phone communicates the message that I love you and I want to spend time with you. This will bring out the best in a quality time person, and you'll get to enjoy the joys of having a loved person around the house. Actions you can take to communicate love involves creating special moments together. A quality time person will feel loved when they can see that you are making an effort to give them your undivided attention. Taking walks and doing small things with your spouse tells them that they are important and sends the "I love you" message loud and clear. Regular weekend getaways are like rocket fuel for the quality time person. Make sure that you prioritize this, and you will see your partner flourish in the love you show them. You do not want anything to distract you when spending time with a quality time person. You might be innocent in your distraction, but the message they will receive says, "You are not really important to me." Long stints without focused one-on-one time together will bring anxiety into the relationship, and a quality time person will start feeling the lack of love. Do not forget that it's about quality and not quantity. If you do not have a lot of time, at least take a few minutes and intentionally switch off any other distractions. You only need a few minutes to fill this person's love tank. Last but not least, we have the acts of service love language. In order to communicate love to the acts person, you need to do voluntary acts of kindness for them. Find out what an acts person needs done and then do it for them out of free will. This will send the I love you message and fill their love tank. It could be something as simple as making them a cup of tea or helping out with the chores. Remember, actions speak louder than words. If you are an acts of service person, you need to learn how to clearly communicate your needs and not just expect your partner to know what you need. Communicating love to the acts person requires that you not only speak but also take action. Using phrases like I will and I'll help drive down the anxiety inside an acts person and relieves them from the pressure of navigating their life on an empty tank. If you, however, say you will do something, your actions should follow. They want to know that you are with them, that you are partnered with them, and that they do not need to do this alone. Doing chores together or making breakfast in bed for an acts of service person are some of the actions that you can take to show them that they are loved. Going out of your way to help alleviate their daily workload will fill their tank and give them the energy they need to get everything else done. As a bonus, chores are done, they'll feel loved, and you'll feel good about it. You'll want to avoid making the requests of others a higher priority than the request of the acts of service person in your life. After all, doing things for people equals showing your love for them, so you do not want to put the requests of others before your spouses if they speak the acts of service love language. Lacking follow-through on tasks big and small is sure to drive up anxiety levels and make the acts of service person feel like you do not care about them. Remember, actions speak louder than words. To recap, the 5 love languages that we use to give and receive love are words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving of gifts, spending quality time together, and acts of service. If you would like to look into this topic a bit deeper, you can read the book The 5 Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. On his website, you can take the test to determine what your primary love language is. I have provided links below. One final thought is that it is my responsibility to clearly communicate my needs to my partner. These 5 languages are just a framework. If I develop the skill to communicate my needs to my partner, I set them up for success in being able to meet those needs and consequently fill my love tank. Thanks for listening. I'm Wynand Jacobs and I stand for guiding people towards building more intimate connections. If you would like to personally work with me as your relationship coach, head on over to my website or drop me an email in the address below. Now, take a minute and in the comments section, complete the following sentence. I feel loved when. If you liked the video or know of someone that might find it useful, please send it to them and help us grow a world of people who know how to build strong relationships.